new age play, that's why as well. But you know what, as I said, a lot of this is about the mid-cap and small-cap valuation comfort. And I want to toss it to Prashant because he has also been doing some work on where actually the peaks normally come for the mid-caps and small-caps.
You know, Anuj, you looked at valuations and price-to-earnings multiples. So I decided to look at it another way, which is ratios, right? I think Atul Suri in the morning was talking to us about that. And the idea behind using ratios is that the Nifty is the benchmark, is a large index. Mid-caps and small-caps are, I mean, if the Nifty is the head, mid-caps and small-caps are the tail. So you take a simple ratio, which is Nifty divided by wherever the mid-cap index is, Nifty divided by wherever the small-cap index is. And I looked at data all the way from year 2000. And there are about 6 tops and highs and troughs. And it kind of gives you a nice indication. The graph will come up on your screen. And, you know, as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. My words will accompany the graph on your screen. The first is the mid-cap ratio, right? Nifty divided by the mid-cap index. It's pretty clear. I mean, I think one doesn't need very much by way of explanation. Right now, that ratio is 0.48. Look at the previous significant top. That was in January of 2018. That was a mad rally, right? I mean, Sanjeev Prasad called it a madcap rally this time. I think that was even bigger. We got to 0.49. The low was made in March of 2020. And back then, the gap had increased to 0.73. So when the gap reduces, you basically, in the case of the mid-cap index, you say that you're getting to very, very high levels, which is the case right now. At the lows, the gap actually will be larger. You can look at the previous instances as well, but you basically get a sense about what has been happening here. Now, look at the small cap index as well, which is the same index. And here also the graph will tell you the story. The difference between mid-cap and small-cap indices, mid-cap index, I mean, if you take a range, it's an upward sloping sort of chart. In the case of the Nifty divided by the small-cap index, it's a slightly downward sloping chart. We've got data since 2006. And this is more interesting, and this, I think, was open to debate as well. The previous peak, right? The low was, of course, made in March of 2020. The ratio back then was 0.41. We have now moved up to 0.64 as of today. The high, the top of 2018 was January of 2018. We went as high as 0.9. And this is the ratio which I think Atul Suri in the morning was saying that we're in a way, I mean, if you go by this, you're basically only halfway done. Yeah. And I like the fact that, you know, these trend lines also sort of join nicely. They join all the highs, they join all the lows, and give you a nice sense of, you know, where the tops usually come in. Before 2018, the earlier top came in January of 2008, right before the Reliance Power IPO. At that point, that ratio had gone up to 0.9 times, 0.97. So the tops are 0.97, 0.9. Right now, we're only at 0.64. So, you know, it gives you some sense. I mean, you tie this in with other indicators, etc. And I would say you get a sense that, you know, you've done a fair bit, but to say that, well, this is it, and, you know, the market is, even the mid and small cap indices are going to completely top out, etc. I mean, I would be, if we were to do a straw poll right now, I would say I'm not in that camp. That, you know, this is it, the story is done, and the market is toast. Actually, I would lean on that side.
Yes, in fact.